It's almost 2025, and one of my top priorities for the upcoming year is to keep growing my email list. Currently, I have over 60,000 subscribers on my list, and I want to double and triple down on that in the upcoming year because I believe that I would have not been able to grow my low-ticket online business to over 6 million in revenue if it wasn't for email marketing. Yes, email marketing has just been a piece of the puzzle, but for me personally, it has been a very important piece, and it is also one of my favorite marketing channels. This is why I decided to record this video. I will take you behind the scenes and show you my 3 favorite ways of growing my email list right now. I will also keep using these 3 ways in 2025 and probably beyond. Before I break down every way in great detail, let's quickly all get on the same page. There are mainly 4 reasons why I prioritize email marketing. Reason number 1, the direct personalized communication through a channel that you own. Other than when you post on social media, you can directly influence who will receive your communication. On social media, we're always depending on algorithms, and we can, unfortunately be subject to our account being hacked or an algorithm change, and our visibility will suffer. On email, we have the opportunity to keep reaching our audience with different messages, and I really, really value that direct communication line to my clients. It's also super fast, and it is what carried me through many launches successfully because I had that direct push channel of communication to my audience. Reason number 2, higher ROI. Email marketing consistently provides one of the highest return on investments of marketing channels. Email has added a lot of revenue and profitability to my business, which is why I want to keep making growing my list a priority. Now, here's the thing about email marketing. In the beginning, I thought that it was not working, right? So I had heard all of those sayings like the money is in the list, or you should earn, at least $1 for every subscriber on your list. And when I started with email marketing, I was like, this is all BS. Like, I'm having an email list at that point of a few hundred people, and I'm not making any money from it. What I didn't know at that time, or what happened in my case, and I think it's similar for many people, for many email marketers, is that your list increases in value over time with your consistency of nurture and the quality of the emails that you provide. So when I was just starting out my list and I was mainly growing it and start to send the first emails, I didn't know how to provide value, right? So I thought it is giving the free tips for X or the hack for Y, when in reality, providing value to your list looks a little bit differently. I'm going to talk about what it looks like in a second, and I'm also going to give you my workflow. But I want to say that when it comes to expecting return on investment from your email list, it is a longer game, right? It is for many businesses a very profitable marketing channel, but it is also because those businesses put in the time and work to develop that channel into such a profitable asset for their business. Reason number 3, community building. This one is particularly relevant for every membership, school community owner, coach, or course creator. Many of us are using a free community model to eventually fill their paid offers. I started my coaching business in a similar way, and initially I also used a free community as my main vehicle to acquire clients. That very quickly became very draining, and eventually I came to a place where my email list became my free community, right? So instead of having a free Facebook group or a free school community, I have my email list as my free community, right? So this is where I am sending out that kind of communication, that kind of value that I would otherwise provide in a Facebook group or in a school community. And I just found that when you're a solopreneur or you are somebody who is still very, very involved in the business, using the email list instead of a free community can give you back a lot of capacity, which is why I personally always love to do it. Plus, it's typically cheaper, at least for me and from when I work with clients, to grow the email list than to grow the free Facebook group or the free school community. So for example, when I'm using a strategic freebie, tangible strategic freebie, we're going to talk about in a second when we're talking about my 3 favorite ways to grow my email list. When we're using a tangible strategic freebie, I can get a cost per lead below $2, often below $1.50, sometimes even below $1. And that is for the online education market in United States, Australia, Canada, United Kingdom. Now, when I'm trying to grow a group in the same niche, often I will see cost per group registration of $5, $6, sometimes over $10, right? So I can just grow a larger community on my email list with the same amount of ad spend. And because I can influence how often I re-reach people, and people tend to more read their emails versus going into communities, I can also create more touch points with them. So it is a more cost efficient way. And for me, it's also a more time efficient way because it's easier for me to create an email than to keep entertaining a free community and keep the engagement going and growing. Especially if you also already have paid communities like I do and work with paid clients like I do, it can be overwhelming to juggle a free community with a paid community as well. So this is why I love email as well. For me, it's a replacement of a free community, made up be a school group or a Facebook group. Reason number 4, having an email list and emailing my list consistently has become a reflective practice for me that helps me to move more intentionally and strategically in my business while also providing value. So in one of my previous talking points, I talked about providing value, right? And it's such a fluffy, what does it even mean to provide value these days? Everyone's giving value. So here is what it means for me. Here's how I do it. I use a reflective practice. Before we had AI, it was just I would journal and then I would use my journal entries as the base for an email that I would send to my list. What I don't understand is providing value is to go to ChatGPT and pull out the 5 steps to do XYZ. I don't think there's a lot of value in that because people can do it themselves to just consult an AI. Where I feel we can provide a lot of value is when we are packaging our experience in a way that it becomes consumable for the person. So they basically can save time and experiential burden because they can consume our experience. Sounds fluffy. Let me show you exactly what I mean by that. So these days, because we're having AI, I'm not sitting down and journaling anymore. I'm actually sitting down and I start to record myself. I love to use Loom for this. It's a freemium software. With the free software, you can record up to 5 minutes. And that's actually the perfect length for a nurture email. So what I do is I sit down, I turn on the free version of Loom, and I just talk out all my thoughts. And I literally sit here and close my eyes and I just talk out everything that's top of mind for me on that day. From growing my own business, from doing the work of becoming, right? So when you're offering a transformation and it's not in alignment in a way that you're offering a transformation in business growth, so you can talk about your business growth practices, you might offer transformation in a different way. Maybe you're a breathwork practitioner and today you did some breathwork and things came up for you, right? Or maybe you're helping people with their eating habits, right? And you're still optimizing that for yourself. So whatever comes up for me when I'm going through the transformation myself or when I'm helping clients to make the transformation, I will sit down every day and I will talk out what's top of mind for me. I'll record myself with Loom and I will strip the transcript of the Loom and turn it into a nurture email. So I quickly actually want to jump in and show you what that looks like and even give you my exact prompt. Okay, so for example, here I gave one of my mastermind students feedback on their strategy. From that Loom, I have a recording, right? So it can be a brain dump or it can also be based on the work that you actually do. The most important thing is you have a transcript. Now you're taking that transcript and you head over to Claude. Claude is really my favorite AI to do this because it has this very natural tone of voice and it's much closer to writing how an actual human would write than ChatGPT. So I'm pasting the transcript in here and then I'm using my 10-minute nurture email prompt. And I'm going to make sure to put it big on the screen so you can use this for yourself. This is what the 10-minute nurture email prompt looks like. I want to write a highly valuable, insightful nurture email for my newsletter subscribers. Please use my tone of voice and turn this brain dump into an email including key takeaways and action steps and a moral of the email subtly positioned at the end. Now all we need to do is paste it into Claude, including the transcript, and now it already writes an email. And here you can see the email itself. So here it says, "Hi there, I just wrapped up a fantastic strategy session that made me want to grab my laptop and share this with you immediately. The real secret success in the membership space isn't about having the most content, it's about having the right content delivered in a way that actually helps people implement the next time." So this is already really good. With just very minor changes, I would be able to send this nurture email, right? And so this is really what I've been using to not only keep my list up to date, but also to create my framework. So with that, your email nurture practice also becomes your reflective practice, where you are finding your unique tools and teachings that you can pass on for others to learn. So everything that you then create for yourself or for your students has higher leverage because you make it consumable, right? So this is what I mean when I say we're taking an experience. For me, it was giving that particular member feedback on how they can go about launching their membership based on my experience with a recent workshop that I did. And now we're having a framework that we can use to let others know, hey, this is a potential approach that you can test. So these were the 4 reasons, as in why I love email. Quick recap: it's your most owned audience. You have direct communication whenever you want it. This is one of the reasons of why it's so profitable. In general, email marketing for many companies is one of their most profitable channels. Just be aware that it takes a little bit of time. The community building, for me, it has been replacing a free community, which gave me a lot of capacity, and that the nurture necessity can turn into the opportunity for having a reflective practice that allows you to develop your own frameworks and tools and teachings. Now that we clarified why list growth, let's talk about how list growth. So here are my 3 favorite ways of growing my list, the things that I'm focused on right now. All right, so let's jump into the first one. Building your list with a tangible strategic freebie reverse engineered from the offer that you ultimately want to sell. One of the things that I help people with is to grow their online paid communities and memberships. So I created a membership idea workbook and gave that away as a free resource on Facebook. I used Facebook ads to fill up my email list using an ad format that's called Facebook lead generation campaigns with instant forms. So here is how this works. You think of the ultimate offer that you want to sell. Now you want to reverse engineer, and you would want to say, people that are at the beginning of this journey, what resource could they need? So I knew that a lot of people at the beginning of their journey, they feel unsure about their membership idea. I had, through the help that I provided to my members, a exact process for finding your idea. So I created a workbook that was showing people my workflow to help them find their idea. And this is what I turned into this tangible strategic freebie. So this is just a PDF basically that allows people to fill in and follow the process to get an idea for what type of membership could they offer in what space and how can they have it framed. So I was creating this tangible resource, and I would then deliver it in the email with a video walkthrough so that people know exactly how to use it. We're creating the resource, then we are mocking it up. So we're making it tangible, and there's different ways in which you can do this. You can create a mock-up like this. You can also print it out and show it to people, or you can record yourself on Loom and walk people through the resource. But the key is that you want to visualize it in a visual that you would want to use for your Facebook ads. Then you write a short copy that conveys the idea and already pre-frames for the ultimate offer that you want to sell. In this copy, I was also talking about how the workbook is born from my experience of running a coaching membership myself and helping others who are interested in running a coaching membership in my programs. So you kind of pre-frame also who you are and what you ultimately have to offer in the ad copy, so people come in with the right expectations. So you kind of want to be already transparent on your copy about that. Then you want to set up Facebook ads. The campaign objective that you choose is leads, and you're going to use instant forms. So what is instant forms? What does it do? Basically, when somebody sees your ad on Facebook, they can click on learn more, and now they will be, hey, where should I send this? Then you put in your email, and then they can submit, need to agree to the privacy policy, and then they can submit. And then on the thank you screen here, you can send them to different places. So I used to send people to my Instagram account because I would provide stories and value there. Now, these days, I love to send people to my YouTube channel because that's kind of my secondary channel after email that I really love to focus on. And you can completely customize this. You could, for example, also send people to a free Facebook group or school community here. But the key is that you collected the email first. This needs to be integrated with Zapier or Make or Pabbly with your email marketing tool. So there is an additional step of integration necessary so that the lead gets into your email marketing tool, and there a delivery automation can be triggered. So you can then have a welcome email where you basically deliver the freebie and you let people know everything that you do. So also in email marketing, I started to move away from long welcome sequences. I basically just have one email, which is the welcome, here's everything I do email. And then they just fall into my genuine, out of the moment, out of the top of mind nurture experience that I create with the nurture emails that I just showed you in the 4 reasons, right? So there's no like complicated sequence. They just immediately get into the nurture pool. Now, this is also because my memberships are currently closed. Right now, the only offer that I have open is my mastermind for application. And, we're filling up. And eventually, when I have reached my cap, I will also put it on waitlist there. So right now, I don't have an offer where I want somebody from an ad to be immediately able to join without further nurture. But when I was still in that phase where I was focused on immediate growth, I would have an urgency offer after people subscribe to the email. So I would give a special bonus if somebody would join my membership within the next 72 hours after they receive the email, right? And here you can think of things like they get access to a special course, right? Or they get access to a one-to-one call with you. So you'd want to think of things that you can put on top if somebody really joins within the time frame. Or, if you say, I don't need to focus on the immediate conversion there, you can just go with the everything I do email, and then you can nurture from there. This is also for a beginner who still tries to refine their offer. You probably would want to wait and just weave in to your nurture emails the opportunity to book a free session with you where you finding out how you can best help people. Okay, so that's the first way. The second way is to have a semi-evergreen workshop. This builds your list, and at the same time, it helps you to set up a very convenient, at least comparatively, launch vehicle into your offers. So this is the main way in which I'm growing the main community I'm focused on right now, which is Grow with Evelyn on School. When we are looking at the ad for the workshop, you'll notice that it doesn't have any date on it. This ad is running since the 15th of November. It's now the 4th of December, and the workshop actually already happened. This was my winner from the last round of ad visual testing, and I still let it run because I was not giving people a date. In the email, I just let them know the details when the workshop will be held will be coming out soon. I will send you an email about this. Then, as soon as I knew, okay, I have a scalable angle on the ads, I can increase my budget to a relevant amount. I started to increase the budget, and I sent the email with, hey, the workshop date is now this, and you can click here to be notified. So I use StreamYard, which is a streaming service that I'm also actually currently recording this in, to schedule a live on YouTube. And then the workshop is also public and live on YouTube. So I'm just streaming it on YouTube. I plan it, and then people can click to be notified when you're going live. And that's just when you know the date, you would want to announce it and schedule your live previously with an estimated date. And then when you know the exact date, you can announce that, hey, now I know the exact date, but you would already want to link through to the scheduled live. Now, when you know the exact date, you want to update and say, here's the exact date when it happened, and you send reminder emails before the workshop that the workshop will be happening. Then the workshop is happening. So in my case, I did my Ad Advantage workshop, which is basically a workshop around creating your ads and testing through ads visuals. And so I did host the workshop on YouTube. So you can see it was 2 hours, 47 minutes, and I live streamed it to YouTube, and people had the opportunity to watch the full workshop and download the templates and the slides on YouTube for 24 hours, right? So I was growing my email list by promoting the workshop. The ad is the very same format as the one you just saw. It's a lead generation campaign with an instant form on Facebook. But instead of the tangible strategic freebie, we are promoting the workshop. People enter their detail. Again, we have the integration with Zapier or Make or Pebly into our email autoresponder. There, that the new subscriber is added triggers an automation where they receive an email and it says, hey, we have this upcoming workshop. Right here is the link to the workshop. The official date will be released soon. You will receive email reminders. Please look out for the email. And then you would want to send them to a valuable piece of content in the meantime. So what I did, I sent them to an interview that I gave. So this is the automation, right? And I sent them in the meantime to an interview I gave for the School Stories podcast, right? Where I was talking about ads. So it was highly relevant for this topic as well. As soon as I knew when I have the workshop, I said, hey, it will happen on this date. So I updated this, and I also sent an email to all the people that had signed up for the workshop as in when it will happen. And then I sent a few reminders as in when I was going live. Then I would go live and I would deliver the workshop, and people could catch it for 24 hours on YouTube. And I let people know you can catch the workshop replay and download the resources for free for 24 hours. After that, it will get into my paid community. But instead of the community being on waitlist, which I usually have, I said, and the community now is not on waitlist. I'm opening up a 7-day free trial, so you have enough time to check out the workshop, but also check out everything else that is in the community. So I did that. And then I had, I think, 150 people signing up. And then you see that the trial conversion rate was relatively high. These numbers in school are a little bit wonky. So I had a high percentage of people converting from the free trial into the paid community because they were able to see everything else that is in the community beyond the workshop. And I also scheduled a live setup session where we would together set up the business manager and the ad account on the day after the trial ends. So people would have an incentive if they were serious and they wanted to be a part of the community, because the setup session where they would have access would be on the next day after that. So that worked really well. And then after I did the workshop, after the 24 hours with the reminders to invite people into my community, it was going into my community. I'm excluding past leads from the ad campaign. If they signed up in the past, they will not receive this ad again. And now, in the meantime, I'm just sending people who are signing up right now for the workshop to the replay until I know when I want to do my next live workshop, which is again when I would just update the links in here. And I'm already testing new ad angles for the workshop, so I can keep scaling this because this has worked very profitably for me. So I want to keep doing this, just getting more people into the workshop. And the beautiful thing is that this was not only an opportunity to get people into my community, but it also grew my list, right? And I know with email over time, even the people who didn't subscribe yet, if I keep being a valuable resource, eventually quite a few of them might become a client of mine. Right, so I really love this approach as well because it allows you to quicker than with the tangible strategic freebie convert people into customers, right? So obviously every business is different. In my case, it's a quicker vehicle towards a conversion, but we also need to note that the lead is more expensive. That workshop was really good because I've been doing ads for years and I've been teaching for years. So my conversion rates right off the gate are probably higher than when you're doing this for the first time. So you just need to take into consideration this might be a method for you to grow into. It is more challenging because you need to have more skills aligned, and you also have a higher cost per lead. A workshop lead is more expensive than a lead for a very high valuable tangible resource that people can consume immediately. The third method is to tap into other people's audiences. And I really love this method because the work that somebody else put into growing and nurturing their list, well, we can piggyback off of that by tapping into other people's lists. And there are different ways to do it. So here are the ways that I have done this in the past. I participated in summits. There are memberships out there and free communities as well as paid communities that keep you up to date about upcoming summit opportunities. So you would see when there's a summit where you could potentially contribute as a speaker and you would want to apply as a speaker. So for example, I was a speaker in Lizzie Goddard's Low Ticket Live because I specialize in low ticket. And in the first year, I talked about memberships. In the second year, I created a scorecard for mini offers and I was talking about that. You provide a free resource, and this is how you get, as a speaker, people onto your email list as well. So try to find summits where you can become a speaker. It will also help you to train that muscle of speaking in front of others. Now, another opportunity is to participate in bundles. So if you already have paid offers, you can apply to be a part of a bundle where somebody will basically give away those paid offers for free. So when people opt in, and then people can select what they want, and this is how your list grows through the bundles. I want to say that I have mixed feelings about bundles. I have participated in bundles where I had big audience growth, and then I participated in future bundles where basically I was just funneling my list onto others. So I'm much more cautious about bundles right now, also because I feel like just giving a product for free, people get into this craze of I want to have, and that I can see how many people are actually checking out the product and consuming the training and learnings, and it has just been a comparatively small amount. So I rather speak in a summit where I can contribute my unique expertise. Summits are great because you can show your expertise. Bundles, next year, I'm going to distance myself a little bit more. Another collaboration opportunity I really love is being a podcast guest. It's great because it also allows you to have more pieces of content where you are very much framed as the expert, and you can kind of bring a gift surprise that the host can link down below for subscribers. A great way to tap into other people's audiences in a long form content format where it also is very, very nurturing. And then you can also send this to your list. So obviously the podcast where you're a guest also has that benefit of tapping, for example, in my case, in my list of 60,000 people. But because it is centered around you and there's so much time people can spend with you, I feel that the nurture outweighs it. And if it's a reputable podcast that already has a greater viewership and you're able to place your strategic freebie, it also can really long term give you very qualified, very nurtured people onto your list. So I really love doing that. The premium version of that, which I love doing most actually, and I want to really, really focus on in the upcoming year, is to be a guest speaker in communities that have a complementary audience, but you're not direct competition. So for example, I spoke in Check AI's community and in Evita's community that is about Instagram growth. And I was bringing my signature talk about lead generation campaigns, right? So it's for me the same presentation that I can do many times. For the people in the community, it's the first time that they hear it. And while we're both attracting a very similar type of client, our offers are complementary, so they're not in competition with each other. Because you're already in a paid setting of someone, right? It is basically like the most premium segment of someone's email list. And you have the opportunity to deliver value there and showcase your expertise there. And if you bring a gift or if you're allowed to bring a special invitation to that community, it is also a very, very good way to grow your list with really, really high quality leads. So this is the third way, is collaboration, and I want to also really, really focus on it in the next year, especially summits, guest podcasting, and guest expert talks. All right, so this was it. These are the 3 ways that I will be using to massively grow my email list next year. I hope you found value in this video, and I hope that you'll follow my footsteps in this. Thank you so much.